You are on bond for murder, and you've now picked up an assault case. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 27th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance/unknown weapon call. The complaining witness stated she is part of the nursing staff and that the defendant has been asked to leave on multiple occasions and refuses to do so. The complaining witness stated that the defendant was attempting to get her grandfather to sign over power of attorney to her, but the staff would not allow this due to the grandfather being diagnosed with dementia. The complaining witness stated that the defendant used force on the complaining witness to get her to leave the grandfather's room. The complaining witness states that the defendant put her hands on the complaining witness's face and pushed it back. The defendant was positively identified by the complaining witness and her Texas ID number.
You say that there was any pain? She pushed in the face. This is an assault, right? There has to be some kind of injury or pain.
She did state that she felt pain in the dim summary.
Okay. Ms. Taylor, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Now, you're saying there's a bond violation in this case?
Yes, Judge, it's in the.
Michael, have you seen this? And how did you already get appointed to this case?
Your Honor, I was appointed sometime very recently on this case. I received a text. I don't know what day it was, but I received
It looks like it was the 29th, which was Tuesday. But how was he appointed a lawyer?
I'm thinking when she was in the holdover.
No. How is she? I mean, I don't understand. Well, regardless, I guess I'm glad that you're appointed because right now she's got bond violations. She was ordered by the
magistrate. I wasn't aware of
magistrate.
that, Judge.
I'm sorry?
I wasn't aware of a BBR in this case. I actually have another BBR today before the court.
I know that. Yeah, we got you. We'll deal with that one next, but you're on bond for murder. You were ordered by the magistrate to have a GPS monitor. You have violated those conditions. Unacceptable. I'm revoking your bond. She goes with you. No.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah.
Your Honor, she just was released because I met her in the holdover earlier this week, and she could not have been out of jail more than a day, two at the most. Would the court allow her to leave right now to get the device?
No. Did she not get the device?
There was a conflict, that's why the DVR was submitted, felony, so the magistrate ordered bond conditions, but the curfew times were not aligning with the felony conditions.
So what? I mean, you still have to abide by the conditions. I mean, what did they say the conditions were?
I have the paperwork right there.
I'm not asking you to say anything, Ms. Taylor. The only thing I want is I want my city protected. You're on bond for this serious case, and now you picked up an assault. I mean, you were ordered to have certain conditions. You must abide by these conditions.
And Your Honor?
She received conditions of bond on April 28, 2025 that ordered a GPS device with a curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. On May 1st, she had an unapproved enter at 7:52 p.m. and then left again at 8:51 until basically 9 o'clock at night.
Yes, Judge, and on the felony conditions, I'm looking at them right now, her curfew is from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. So that's where it's conflicting. So the magistrate ordered from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and on felony, her curfew was 12 a.m. to 6 a.m.
I mean, she still has to follow conditions, right? There may be conflicting, but you abide by the conditions and then you come to court and you ask to, do something or maybe make them align, but you just don't do whatever you want to do and think, okay, nothing's going to happen. You're on bond for 2 serious cases.
Your Honor, if I may again.
Sure.
This is a brand new case. Could the court admonish her Because the amount of time, I understand that.
Michael, she's on bond for murder. She's lucky to even have a bond, and now she picks up an assault. She's ordered to have a curfew, and she's just doing whatever the hell she wants to do.
In this case, Judge, that's before your court. This is a brand new case, and this is her first time having any issues while on your bond, Judge. Would the court be willing to allow her not to leave her home even for short periods of time?
I don't know, Mikey. I don't know.
And my assumption is we're gonna reach out to Melanie. My assumption is there's a BVR call for that too, so I don't know what her talking to her looks like, but.
I don't know, Michael. I'm gonna stew on it for a while. You
Yeah,
want to
sure.
talk about your other BVR? Or wait, hold on a second. Sorry, let me just finish with the arraignments. Give me 2 seconds, and then we're almost
No
done.
problem, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Randolph. Good morning. So you're charged with assault, causing bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and our $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot, one will be appointed to you, sir. All right.
The judge. Judge on.
We're doing here. There's no reason for you to be looking out there. We're going to do probable cause. We have to find out what happened with the case.
Judge, on April 23rd, 2025, an officer dispatched an assault call and made contact with the complaining witness, and the defendant. The complaining witness stated that he saw the defendant talking to and following a witness, and the witness then started to run away and observed the defendant to chase after the witness. The complaining witness then got in between the defendant and the complaining witness, and the defendant then struck the complaining witness with a closed fist. The complaining witness said he felt pain and then grabbed the defendant, and they proceeded to grapple until security arrived. The witness stated that she did not know the defendant and that her and her friend walked past the defendant on the street. The defendant then began to verbally harass them and started to get verbally aggressive. She asked the defendant to leave them alone, and the defendant continued to refuse to do so, and that she began to walk away and to try and get away from the defendant, but got stuck at the intersection crosswalk. Then corroborated the facts that the complaining witness provided about getting between the two of them.
Mr. Randolph, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Do you understand? I'm ordering you also now not to be in possession of weapons, not to have any contact with the complaining witness, and not to go to this part of the street. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Don't be a danger to my city, man. I'm not asking for much.
I'm not in danger. I didn't never know these people, Your Honor. I was out.
So,
I need a public defender.
I'll give you one. But I'm telling you now, Mr. Randolph, don't be a danger to my city.
I was never in danger. Just I don't intend to be in danger either.
All I want my streets safe.
It
And
was in danger to me, and that's why I'm showing up today.
I'm going to protect my streets at all costs. You
You
understand?
protect me from these kind of people.
I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm
I
going
do
to
need a public defending office, your judge or
I already
lawyer.
told you I was going to give you one. Just really.
I'm really scared for my life because I just did 4 years and I'm going through the same thing again in your courtroom when I did good and I'm going through all the facilities. There was never in a harm's way standing 100 feet away from these people or 200 feet. I was never 100 feet within there.
No. Exercise.
And I'm
the right
running from
to
these
stop.
people.
You're going to say something that hurts your case. Just stop.
Yes, sir.
I'm not asking you to say anything. I just want,
I just want to also be safe in your community also.
don't use any dope. Don't use any alcohol.
Never was. I was sober that day. I was sober as can be. No drugs, nothing. Enjoying a beautiful day for my mama's funeral. I know no rules. I don't know these people.
Listen, I'm gonna have you sign a reset. I'm gonna have you take your seat in the jury. Yo, I'm not done talking to you. Once you sign the reset, just take a seat in the jury box. I'm gonna find your lawyer, but we need you to sign conditions. Don't leave until you sign the bond conditions.
Yeah.
Come on. You are on bond for criminal mischief. You've now picked up a new case. You now stand charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
The judge. On April 26, 2025, a law enforcement officer is on patrol and observed a motor vehicle run a red light and make a U-turn, nearly striking another vehicle in Harris County, Texas. Law enforcement officer observed the motor vehicle drive onto the curb of Richmond Avenue and initiated a traffic stop. The defendant passed multiple open parking lots and continued to drive. The defendant eventually pulled into a business parking lot. A law enforcement officer contacted the defendant and observed him to be eating fried chicken. The law enforcement officer asked the defendant why he didn't lower the window, and the defendant stated he didn't have any and continued to eat. The law enforcement officer observed the defendant did not have a driver's license and was incoherent when asked to provide his name and date of birth. Law enforcement eventually identified the defendant by name and date of birth. The defendant continued to state, "I don't have anything on question about his whereabouts," and standardized field sobriety tests were conducted. The officer observed 2 out of 6 clues in the HGN, 5 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and 0 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. Due to the defendant, 0 out of 4 on the one-leg stand due to the defendant being unable to perform the test. The law enforcement officer noted that on the walk and turn, the defendant did not turn around. He stayed still for approximately 30 seconds. The law enforcement officer explained the one-leg stand, and after the instructions, the defendant began performing the walk. This occurrence happened again after the law enforcement officer tried to explain the one-leg stand another time. The law enforcement officer observed 2 unopened 6-packs of alcoholic beverages that were cold to the touch, and observed an empty fuzzball and a 24-ounce can of Modelo beer and an empty Twisted Tea alcoholic beverage. The defendant refused both breath and blood. A blood warrant was signed and executed.
Mr. Juarez, I'm going to find that there's enough probable cause to go forward with your case. You said he doesn't have a license, right?
There's a number here, Your Honor. I'm not unsure if that meant that he did not have a license at the time.
Mind running it, please?
Yes, Judge. Your Honor, he does have an eligible driver's license.
I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I have ordered you not to pick up any new cases, not to violate conditions of bond, and you have repeatedly done that. As a result, I am now revoking your bond on the first case, and you will go to jail today. And I'm going to tell you, you violate conditions again, I'm going to make the bond so high your head will be spinning. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will put a scram on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming. Do you understand?
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
on the first case, the court previously was testing Mr. Juarez 2 times a week, and he was doing pretty good on that for an extended period of time. In lieu of revoking his bond, would the court consider going back to biweekly testing?
Yeah. He picked up a serious case. He has alcohol in the car. I mean, he's allegedly consuming while he's driving, you know? I would figure that it's damn elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. And there are multiple open containers, cold to the touch. No, I have to show you that we mean business. And me letting you go again when you have multiple violations, it's not going to happen. You go to jail. I don't know what we're going to do when he bonds out, Michael, as far as testing now. I don't know. But
I understand, Judge.
I'm going to order him not to drive as well. I mean, he's got alcohol in the, no, it's not going to happen. Good morning.
Judge, I'm approaching on Victor Jesus. Rauda Lopez. And he's got a bond violation report, Your Honor.
Page 10.
Is he here?
He's here, Judge. He's in the jury box.
Speak English?
Yes, he does.
Come up. Come up.
Answer yes or no, sir.
Did you get your GPS device?
Oh, yeah.
I'm revoking your bond. I ordered you to get a GPS device. You didn't get it. Okay, goes with you. Sorry, Maria. All right. We're going to keep you. The bond right now is, oh God, it's 5,000 now.
I already paid the half.
1,001. We'll just raise it up 1,001.
6,000.
It's 5,000 now,
Right.
so I'll just do 6,001.
Okay, Judge. 6,000.
So if he bonds out.
Yes, Judge.
All right, good morning, Mr. Ayler. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. It looks like you're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On that one, you're facing up to a year and or a $4,000 fine. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 27, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle traveling 50 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone via radar and failed to signal at a right turn. A traffic stop was initiated, and upon contact with the defendant, the law enforcement officer observed a handgun on the rear right passenger floorboard, unholstered and later confirmed to be loaded. Law enforcement officer observed glossy eyes, strong odor of alcoholic beverage, and slurred speech from the defendant. The defendant admitted to consuming 3 alcoholic beverages. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was recorded on the HGN, a 2 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to provide breath and blew a .136 and a .141.
Okay. Any prior DWIs?
Yes, Your Honor, out of a different county.
Is it open?
No, Your Honor, it was closed in 2014 with 12 months of probation.
Can you run a full NCIC to see how many there are?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Ayler, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Also, if you can run his license, please. I'm now placing a restriction on you, Mr. Ayler. You are not allowed to drive any vehicle that's not equipped with an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, I will revoke the bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Likewise, you're ordered not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. I'm sending notice to DPS in Austin. Every single officer in the state will know that if you're driving a vehicle and it doesn't have an interlock, you will be arrested and put into jail. Do you understand?
Judge, it's just the one previous DWI.
Okay, license, what'd you say?
License.
You're also not allowed to drive unless you have a valid license and liability insurance in your name as well. That is a part of your bond conditions. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You will eventually get with Roxanne for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go.
It is eligible.
Great. Okay, come on. Mr. Bustamante, I know that there are 2 sides to the story. I get it, right? That's why we have trials. But in the interim, ask you to do several things. And when you don't, there are serious consequences. Number 1, we ask you to show up. On your first case, you failed to appear just in and of itself, and we had to issue a warrant for your failure. We issued bond conditions on that as well. Those conditions were also broken. You've now picked up a new case. I want you to understand something and listen and hear me clearly. Mr. Bustamante, I want you to listen and I want you to hear me clearly, because what I'm doing now is I'm putting orders of protection on both of your cases. And if you violate these, you are looking at 2 more very serious violation of a protective order case. That in and of itself is the capital murder of misdemeanors. Do you understand? You violate conditions on that, I can have a hearing to hold you at no bond.
I understand 100%, sir, Your Honor.
The only thing I am asking you to do is do not have contact with either of the complaining witnesses in these cases. I don't care if they're relation. I don't care if there's no relation. I don't care who they are. Do not have contact. And when I mean no contact, I mean no contact of any kind. No phone calls, text messages, social media, emails, Snapchat, whatever, maybe smoke signals. No means no.
It's not a problem, Your Honor. It's not a problem.
So this is now an order that identifies both Bustamantes as protected individuals. You cannot communicate with them. You cannot commit an assault, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, communicate with a third party to try to communicate with them. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where they live or where they work.
I understand, Your Honor. I got 7 kids, and those are not the oldest ones. I'm a good daddy.
Don't talk to these two.
I understand, Your Honor.
This order only applies to these two. Don't use the other kids to try to have contact with these. If you do,
We all live together. Right.
now you don't.
Right. I'll go to Mom's house.
Best go somewhere else because they're going to inform those kids now that you're not supposed to be there or have contact with them.
That's not a problem, Your Honor.
All right.
The first one, my daughter, she doesn't live here. She ran away with her husband. Whenever she called the cops, she wasn't even at the house.
I don't
I'm sorry.
Don't go
want you
into
to
the
have
fact.
contact with them. I'm not asking you much. You've already picked up 2 cases. You pick up a third, I'm going to blow a gasket.
That's the problem. You got it.
State, is there anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. There are allegations of drug use too. We would ask for reading your analysis.
Okay. You're not to use alcohol, illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, I'm going to revoke these bonds and we'll put you back in. As it stands now, you are a flight risk. I'm not going to give you a PR bond. So what'll happen now is we're going to put you back. I've got your bond set. If you have someone that posts your bond, then you must abide by these conditions.
My daughter, my daughter.
I've given you a lawyer. You need to talk to the lawyer. You have the right to remain silent. Everything you say, if they're going to sit there and they're going to type it to use it to prove your guilt, just don't say anything. I'm telling you what the expectation is. So if you do get out, you don't pick up a third case.
I have a question.
What's the question,
Ask
actually?
the lawyer.
Okay, so,
That-
okay.
Okay,
We're good, Judge.
you good? Okay, all right, Mr. Bustamante, you know what's expected of you from now on. That's it.
Thank you,
Okay,
Your
so we need him to sign conditions
Yes,
with
sir.
Roxanne whenever she's ready.
You come up here so I
I'm not equivalent. I want to go.
Please.
I don't want to go to jail.
Good morning, Mr. Godine.
You don't say.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 26, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle run a red light and initiated a traffic stop. The law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed bloodshot eyes, droopy eyelids, constricted pupils, unbalanced, and the defendant to be talkative and have trouble concentrating. The defendant admitted to running the red light. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 2 out of 6 was reported on the HGN, a 5 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 1 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant estimated 30 seconds passing and what was in reality 72 seconds on the one-leg stand. The defendant admitted to smoking weed earlier. The defendant consented to breath and blew a .00. The defendant consented to drug influence evaluation, and a drug recognition expert believed the defendant to be under the influence of a central nervous system stimulant, a narcotic, an analgesic, and cannabis. Thank you, Your Honor. And the defendant admitted he took oxycodone or narcos and smoked weed. A blood warrant was obtained and executed.
Mr. Godin, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward to the case. If you have a drug or alcohol problem, now is the time for you to address it. I'm giving you the opportunity now. If I find that becomes a problem while you're on bond, I'm going to revoke your bond. I will put you in jail, and I'm going to address it myself. Oxy is one of the absolute worst things that you could possibly take because you build up such a tolerance to it. You literally put your lungs to sleep if you take too much and you end up dying. I cannot tell you how many people have died from this drug. It's absolutely disgusting. And the maker has been sued repeatedly by how many different states in this country because it's such an addictive thing. Don't use. I'm telling you now, within the next week, I'm going to test you because I want to make sure you're not using. Do you understand?
Sir.
Don't use. You've got a great lawyer here. She will take care of you, but I don't care who you have here. Jesus, you use. It's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
License, prior DWIs?
The license is eligible
Okay.
and not seeing any prior DWIs here, Your Honor.
I'm telling you that I've had probably a handful of friends that have died from Oxy because they continue to take it, build up that tolerance, and put their lungs to sleep. It's disgusting. Just don't. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I don't want you to kill yourself. Life is way too short.
Yes, sir.
You're not allowed to drive unless you also have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. Do you understand? Because you have a lawyer, we will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Ms. Barks, and she'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. Be careful. Don't use. As long as you do, all is well. Come on.
Runner.
I'm in shock. You're on bond for a DWI with us, and you've now picked up an aggravated assault with a family. Do you mind, this is Ms. Drake Osby. What happened in the ag assault, please?
Yes, Your Honor. On April 1st, 2020, as first specified, the plaintiff was the defendant are exes from a prior dating relationship. On April 1st, 2025, an officer was dispatched to an address in Harrison County, Texas, responsible for disturbance call. The complainant stated there was a verbal altercation when the defendant took the complainant's cell phone. The defendant then entered the bedroom and began striking the phone and objects to break it. The complainant was able to retrieve his cell phone, at which time the defendant began to strike the complainant in the head and torso with a closed fist, causing him to fall on the ground. The complainant was able to walk away, and the defendant grabbed a metal object and struck the complainant in the head and arm, causing 2 lacerations on his left eye and a laceration on his right eye, and multiple scratches on both arms. The defendant then jumped the fence and fled the scene. The object was a solid metal bracket, 12 to 16 inches in width, made of heavy gauge steel designed to hold 2 cylindrical metal tubes and has multiple sharp forms. The item is manufactured for law enforcement officer use as a mounting or deployment device for tire deflation.
And all this over a phone? Ms. Drake Osby, I now have to revoke your bond in our case as well. I'm sorry. So I'm going to set it at 5,001. You've still not made bond on the felony case. So if you do, I mean, we can talk, but John, I think he's set for when? She's set for
514, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to do, I guess, the day after then?
You look at one other thing, Judge. Well, I think the felony is actually set for Monday. Our case before this one was caught up was when she was reset for 514.
It's up to, I'm good with whatever you want to.
I'm actually looking, I don't have any new discovery to look over because this case is so new. There weren't even any body cams for me, so I'm pretty much waiting on everything. I'll leave it where it is and I'll monitor things and see what's going on with the felony case, Judge.
All right. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Judge.
So I've got a couple to talk to you about.
Okay.
Start with the easier one first. Mr. Ally,
Marquise Heller?
yes,
Is he in custody?
no, he's on bond. He had a violation because apparently he was random drug test.
Oh, right. Is he here?
He is here. He went and he's tested. He came back negative, which is positive. But I think there was a miscommunication or a misunderstanding about him having to go drug test. He's got a pretty extensive orange sheet. And he's doing a mental health PTI, which
Remember?
he's done the interview. We're just waiting on the report. So I think it may have just, when he missed the drug test, just a misunderstanding, miscommunication as to what the bond conditions were.
Edward Johnson?
Did you get the report on Ally yet?
Okay, I get those emails. I don't think I can.
I haven't gotten one, but I did speak
I've been
with.
waiting. It's been a long time.
Well, they do them in batches rather than piecemeal. And so we just,
I mean, he went and did it at least 60 days ago, no?
I don't think it's been 60, maybe 30, 45-ish, but he has gone. I did speak with the Harris Center and he,
I remember you told me that he went.
yeah. We're just waiting, and the Harris Center, I know that they're very overwhelmed and understaffed and.
Right, I get it. What do you want to do?
Well, like I said, he's here. He's clean. If we
That's
could,
good.
yes.
Okay, I mean, he's clean, which is great.
Yeah.
Right, so let's set it, I don't know, maybe a week.
Okay.
If it's not back in a week, I'm gonna call it. I'll figure it
Okay, perfect.
out. Who's
Let's do
next?
that. Mr. Jorge Pena, he's in custody. He has a fugitive case,
He's a what case?
a fugitive case.
Okay, oh, hi,
And,
Amy.
he would like to speak to you about getting a new lawyer.
About a bond?
No, he wants a new court-appointed lawyer. And
Do you mind bringing out Jorge Pena, please? Pena, please.
I don't want to presume to speak for the court,
Is it
but
upset with you?
apparently,
I find that really hard to believe, really.
Judge,
And you go to bat, so I don't get it, right?
this is the first time.
He thinks he can get a different result. Is it just because of the fugitive case?
So he has a fugitive case and a local case, which makes it a little more complicated.
He's made bond on the local case, which is good. So the 15 days. Did he waive or did he refuse? Okay. He looks young. Huh? Rick, did you find something?
Oh, Judge, I don't have the website, Judge. If you can pass that along, I'll try.
You what?
I don't have the website.
You are, okay.
Judge,
Let me just make sure.
the locator system says it won't work.
Say it again?
The locator system said that it will not work, within 48 hours of them being placed into ICE custody. I'm not sure if it has been in the last 48 hours that she's been detained by ICE.
Do you want, hey, it looks like I've got the boyfriend here. Do you want me to get the phone number for this person and I'll give it to you, Rick? Talk to him? Or have you already talked to
I've
him?
been talking to him, Judge. I do have it.
And what's he saying?
He says that he tells me that ICE has her.
That ICE has her.
I don't have any. Yes, I don't have a verification of it.
Okay, so why don't we do
Apparently-
this? Because state is saying that within 48 hours of them taking, they can't verify it. I guess it takes a bit to hit the system, you know?
Oh, I see. Yes.
And
Mhm.
when did they allegedly get her?
Yesterday, it showed that she was out on bond, but she didn't appear yesterday. So apparently,
Judge, if you'd
maybe
like,
a couple of days
contact-
before.
Say it again?
It does give a number for the field office. If you'd like me to reach out and contact them.
Yeah, but you got a lot, I mean, you got a lot of stuff here going on, you know?
But county doesn't have a right, Judge?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you should get that deeply involved, you know what I mean? Because I don't want you to do something that you get in trouble, so. The hold was lifted 3/16. Rick,
Okay, Judge.
so that's been
3/16.
2 weeks.
Wow. So apparently that's where she's been. I've had no contact with her, Judge.
I mean,
But,
if we can't verify that she's in custody, because I can't, then I'm going to revoke the bond.
Right, right. I understand.
So I
Maybe-
guess, do you want to see if the guy that's here can provide proof that she's in other than his word?
Right. He tells me that he has a immigration attorney for her. So let me speak to him, Judge. I'll talk to him and then I'll get back with you.
He has like a folder with a bunch of stuff.
Do you have his phone number?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Okay. Do you speak English?
Yeah, I speak English.
Okay, so her lawyer is going to call you now. We need proof that she's actually in immigration custody.
Number and everything, of course, it and everything. She has court Monday with my immigration lawyer, I'll sponsor her and everything.
Okay, so go out there, speak to the lawyer to see what kind of proof that you can bring us and let us know. And
Okay, yeah, I got all the paperwork you need information. Okay.
he's going to call you now.
Okay.
Okay,
Will do, Judge. Thanks.
thanks, Rick. Hey, after this, I'll hit you up. Pena.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Pena, you were wanted out of another state. And I guess your lawyer there are two things. You're not happy with Anna here. And so we need to talk about number one. Number two, a lot of times when people have fugitive cases, they ask for me to set them a bond so they can get out and go turn themselves in. I don't know. I don't know why you're wanted out of the other state. All I know is that now, and within the last, year and a half, you've picked up 2 other cases with me in this court. So I know you because you keep picking cases up. So I don't care if you have Jesus here. It don't matter who you got, where she's as that good, right? I don't know if I'm going to give you a bond because all I know is you keep picking cases up. And you're only 23. So Amy, tell me about Mr. Payne.
Yes, he's born out of Newton County, Indiana, corrupt business influence, forgery, fraud, and identity deception. This was issued May 14th of 2024. He of course has local cases for DWI, 415. Let me see what else.
What's he wanted for? What was the first part?
Corrupt business influence, forgery, fraud, and then identity deception.
Corrupt business influence, forgery, and fraud. Do we know that they want him?
Yes,
Okay. Is there a bond that's been set there?
I don't have any information about bonds. Also, day is coming up in 5 minutes if we're discussing bond.
Okay. So tell me, what's going on?
Mr. Pena, I don't want to get too far into attorney-client
Sure, of
communication.
course.
He would like to ask for a new appointed lawyer.
Why?
Oh, well, me and her had a conversation. Like, there's nothing against her, but we just had a conversation, and I didn't think that
She's fighting for you?
you could
She's
say-
one of the biggest junkyard dogs that we have here. There's no one that fights more than she does.
No,
She's better than most attorneys I even see here. I'm telling you, she's amazing.
no, I believe you. You could be saying the truth, but
I am saying the truth.
no, I know you are. I believe me. And just off the fact, the case, the other price case that you did bring up, I haven't had. It was a year and a half already, and it's only been for for protection. Like my other cases, I'm not no bad dude that robbery or they're all gun charges, and that's just on the behalf of the landscaping business that I got. That every time when I'm in the backyard or so, somehow they're always trying to steal the back of the trailer. That's the only reason, and the only cases that I got. I don't got no evading arrest, no like robbery or however you.
I don't know, but we have another prosecutor that's coming up to speak about this as well. I'm not going to give you another lawyer. This is a lawyer that we've given you. We only have a couple lawyers who do these types of cases regardless.
Okay.
So,
The only thing I was gonna, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
Okay.
The only one I was gonna ask you was I was trying to get the lawyer that fought for the 2 gun charges. I don't know, Mr. Some with, I just forgot. I think he's an Italian dude.
those cases you had,
They have the same guy. and I really thought it was him right here.
Oh, it is Greg.
I know why you look familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, Greg, you represented Mr. Pena on both of his prior cases.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's why when I looked at it, I was like,
So look, the only way you can have Greg is you can hire him. Otherwise, you got Anna. Okay?
oh, yeah, he's getting, oh, now he charges that. Look at
I always charge. I don't know what you're thinking.
All right, we're gonna put you back because we're waiting on another lawyer to come up here.
Let me go back and talk.
Yeah, yeah, for
I'll
sure.
charge you.
Good morning, or good afternoon, whatever it is.
What happened, Dave? Are you upset
Too
with?
late, Judge. I didn't, I missed that you set a $5,000 bond on Anna's other client.
Look, I didn't see very much violent history. I saw that this is yes, but it's been 5 years since he's gotten in trouble. Do you have something to add? I'm all ears.
Well, I let Amy prepare it, so I'm gonna just let sleeping dogs lie. I just, yeah.
I didn't see much violent history. I saw DWI, I saw an evading, but those back in 15 and 16, you know.
It was well, I mean, it's already done, so it's, at this point,
Do you have something that's truly aggravating that would give cause for concern?
well,
I know the facts of this case, right?
well, the argument I would have leaned more towards is not the, necessarily the physical danger, but it's the flight risk of it and the aggravating circumstances of what he's wanted for, but,
Hey,
yeah.
if you run, I can't run forever. We'll get you eventually, number one. And the worst part about the case that I saw, gets out of the car, puts her in a full Nelson. I didn't have anything more than that, you know, there was no blood, there's no, you know, the history was, you know.
It was more flight risk and the fact that one of the conditions, well, if we're talking about the warrant.
It was a 2B.
It was a 2B and one of the conditions they asked was no contact, was my understanding. The complainant's in the gallery.
But she came on her own accord.
Well, I understand, but it's the same as domestics here is, I understand that they're obviously willing complainants or recanting
Melvin
complainants, but
Garcia?
in the domestic part of things.
But if it's a 2B, he hasn't been ordered by the court. So he doesn't know,
No, I know. And I
he's
was
not on notice.
No, my argument wasn't he wasn't violating any bond conditions. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is if one of the concerns, right, is that they would go out of their way to put it in the teletype and to the warrant to us, that it is a concern that they have contact, is one of the things that would facilitate and ensure the no contact instead of him being free and odds cash in my pocket says,
Yes.
right, but cash in my pocket says.
And Anna's gonna let him know so that he now knows.
But anyway, all that said is it's already done, so I'll move to the next.
Okay, Mr. Pena, thank you for smoothing that over. He would like to ask the court for a fugitive bond. I told him it was a long shot, but I was not going to presume to speak for the court.
We need to bring someone out. Lee, Pena, please.
You and Ricardo are getting some wins.
Hey, Vic, do you want to go through the list? Or no? You're not ready?
Well, you weren't here yesterday.
That's true. That's true. I'm also wildly sleep deprived. The intake wasn't too bad last night. It was a steady flow. Not too bad. So tired. Yeah. It's good fun.
Three on one, two, yes. Two subjects. Brad.
Judge, did you want to go over to
Yeah.
page 5, Davis? Seth or Raymond failed to appear first time.
Right.
2501.
Right, page 7, Estrada.
Yeah.
5001 on the DWI.
Ready for the next one?
No, give me 1 second. Let me finish the bail order. Okay, who's next?
Next, Judge, is page 13, Jenkins. Seth or Raymond failed to appear first time.
2501. Okay. I'm not happy with you, and the thing is that, Mr. Pena, since you've been an adult, you've picked up 1 to 2 cases every year. It would scare me to let you out because I don't know what you're going to do. The last thing I want is for me to let you out and you leave just a path. You now have a DWI here. You're wanted for 3 charges in, where was it again?
Indiana.
In Indiana. You're hopscotching states with criminality. And you're only 23. I don't feel comfortable giving you a bond because I don't think that you will comply with the court orders.
Can I speak?
Sure. Just don't talk about the cases.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about, sir, believe me, I understand where you come from because it's probably not the first time you see it. But, my cases are not, never hurting nobody. I'm not a menace to society.
What else was it?
Your Honor, it's fraud, identity deception, forgery, corrupt business influence,
But nothing with, no disrespect to you, I promise no disrespect, but nothing that has that I hurt somebody or make somebody do that they didn't want to or like
Have an open DWI.
for doing a favor.
Stop.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, sorry.
If you go out there and you kill a family of 4, do you think, well, he was going to try to help someone? Do you think they care?
I was asking her, I was like, at least, because my mom, it's the Indiana case is like 14 hours if I'm not mistaken, and well, my mama don't got enough money to be going back and forth. So that's why I was asking her. I'm like, if he, I'll do anything that however he feels comfortable, like however you want. I was like, can he at least put me a monitor to drive with my mom over there at least one time? Cause I haven't seen my mama, and I'm not gonna be able to see my mama if I end up going all the way to Indiana, cause she don't got enough funds to even go over there like every week. And sir, like believe me, I'm not no bad person.
Concern is whether you get to see your mom. You know what I mean?
Understandable. Oh, that's understandable. No disrespect.
My only concern is that you get to Indiana to
Yes, sir.
charges.
Yes, sir.
Now, the problem is that you refused extradition. So you aren't even earning credit now toward, because when someone waives extradition, we give that other state 14 days to come get you.
Yes, sir.
And if they don't come get you,
Yes, sir.
then Harris County releases you.
Yes, sir.
Right? The warrant don't go away.
Yes,
That warrant will also remain.
Yes, sir.
But at this point, I just don't feel comfortable giving you a bond, Mr. Pena. You're just too young. You keep picking up criminal cases, and it scares me.
Well, can we come to like an understanding? Like, let's just say I do suppose like however you think that I'm finna do, I'm really eventually I'm gonna come back, and I'll do more time than I have to. Bro. I'm giving you my word that
I don't feel comfortable, Mr. Pena.
That's acceptable. That's acceptable.
Because the problem is that with the cases that you had with us, I also had to revoke your bond on those cases when you were just here with us.
Yeah,
you failed to appear on one of your cases, and that's just here in Harris County. On one of the gun cases, you took off and we had to issue a warrant for your arrest.
No.
Okay. And Judge,
the bond's at 1,001.
Okay, just if I may, I believe both of the gun cases were ultimately dismissed.
One was dismissed, the other one
was not.
Oh, okay. I apologize for my misunderstanding. I thought they both.
So he probably pled to one where they dismissed the other one.
Okay.
He was on bond and he picked up a new case. That's what it.
No, it was a year after. But actually, in part of housekeeping, if you wanted to go forward with the 2-year rule, or if you didn't want to.
Okay. So his DWI is in court 15. I don't know if they're going to send that back because of the.
We killed the 2-year rule.
Oh, didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
like, when was it, like a month ago or so?
Oh,
Yeah, so there's no
That's why
more.
it's okay.
Okay.
It's still like all fresh and new. We have to update the court rules, but as far as
Okay.
the 2-year rules now, gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because the problem is that judges would get too, you'd end up seeing the same people over and over, and then is it really fair because you end up, right?
That
You
makes
start
sense.
developing a relationship and you start treating them differently as you would.
Right.
So that's why. So now you refuse. I'm not going to give you a bond. So you have 2 options. You can, if you want to continue to refuse, they will go get a governor's warrant from Indiana to forcing Indiana to come get you, but that will take 90 days. If you want to waive now, you can waive now, and give them 14 days to come get you. I'll let you talk with Anna to make the decision to let you know what you want to do.
And he did sign the waiver, just,
Oh, okay, all right.
so.
Got it.
Time started yesterday?
I just started.
Right now,
So they'll have.
the time that you waive,
they'll have-
which is right now.
Yeah, I had signed the paper, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I sure did. Cause she said it starts at 12, that day that I signed my paper.
Okay.
It's up to them whether they want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, at
No, it
first,
shows a refusal.
at first it was I had signed for the 90 days, and she said tomorrow you got an option or to tell your lawyer that, you could change your mind tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I was like, when did the day start? She's like, tonight at 12.
Refusal.
Yeah, so they'll have until the 18th.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, man. No, you don't
Yeah.
worry about it. I appreciate you.
Okay.
You're doing your job. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Appreciate you, Judge.
Okay.
Take care. Good morning, Ms. Hodge. Ma'am, you're charged with resisting arrest or search. You're facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Okay.
Your Honor, on March 30th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle traveling 55 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone and made a traffic stop. Upon contact with the defendant became irate and demanded the law enforcement officer's name and badge number before answering a FaceTime call and becoming distracted. The defendant advised that her driver's license was expired and that she only had a passport. Vehicle registration was also expired. Law enforcement officer asked the defendant to step out of the vehicle, and the defendant ignored the commands. Law enforcement officer then opened the defendant's door and again ordered the defendant to step out of the car and informed her she was under arrest for interfering with public duties. The law enforcement officer then removed the defendant from the driver's seat and forced the defendant to the ground. After being detained, the defendant refused to get into the back of the law enforcement officer's vehicle and began to kick out towards the deputies. In the process, the defendant struck the law enforcement officer in both thighs several times. The law enforcement officer were eventually able to force the defendant into the back.
She get charged with assault on the peace officer?
No, Your Honor, she did not.
Very lucky. Extremely lucky that you're not charged with 2 additional felonies. Ms. Hodge, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. So can you run her license, see if she has a valid license, please? If you do not have a Texas driver license and a liability insurance in your name, you're not allowed to drive, and I will make that a condition of your bond. When you get into a pissing match with people who have the power of arrest, who wins? Right. Take that into account. A lot of times, something like this ends up in a ticket, you know?
She's not eligible.
Okay, you're not allowed to drive. I'm making that a condition, and you're now going to sign an affidavit with me today, which is a promise that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. There's no justification you can give for driving. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 people. Do not drive. If you want to drive, go get a license, get insurance, and I'll happily take this restriction off. That's the only condition I'm placing on you now. Don't drive unless you have those, and then you get approval from us. Because you have a lawyer, Ms. Hodge, I will waive your appearance. Meaning you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Ms. Barnes. She'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If she tells me she cannot get a hold of you because you're playing games, you're not responding to phone calls or text messages, I will issue a warrant for your arrest as well. Okay, so I'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive, and after that, you guys are out of here.